So traders, before we get into a bit of a market update, and also I've actually on my community tab up here on the post, I've actually been putting a few things up here in the last couple of days. I also want to walk you through these images, this one here, this one here. I also want to walk through this one here as well too. Probably this one here as well too, but also this one here as well too, and all of them as well too. So there's actually a lot of things that I want to cover with you guys today, and there's a lot of things that I want to sort of cover with what's going on here, guys. So guys, make sure you don't place a trade based on what you see in this video today, okay? Be serious about your trading, okay, guys? Don't just blindly take a trade based off of YouTube videos. That is really, really stupid if you do that, okay? Some people do, which is just no, okay. All right, and also traders, make sure you grab access to my free trading course. That is the first link in the description there. So let me start off with some of these images here, and then I'm going to get to the market update for you guys in today's video, because there is one of the big things I'm noticing, even from my personal journey through the markets, and I'm noticing this from a lot of people who I train and who I coach with my coaching program, is people think that it has to be more complicated. And I'm not sure where does this idea come from? Like, we have to really make it complicated. Do you watch Johnny Bravo's channel? I watch his channel sometimes. But I'm sure, do you watch his channel? Because he's got the 9 count, he's got the 9 moving average, he's got the MACD, he's got the confirmation. Is that who you watch? Is that now again? I have nothing against Johnny Bravo, right? I actually like his content. He's a really, really, really good marketer, by the way. He really knows how to grab your attention and then obviously go from there. But you have to think about this from a perspective of, and this is again one thing I've noticed through myself and through my mentors that I've learned from, is that the more I've become successful in the markets, the reason why is because I've just simplified the markets. Let me show you, or if you think about this here for a minute, okay? Obviously, I'm looking at I've brought up this screenshot here. Now, here's the thing. Actually, as I'm saying this right now, I do believe that one of the reasons why a lot of people use a lot of indicators in the markets, and because we're trying to find the certainty that this is definitely going to be a good trade, right? And we know at the end of the day, there's no matter how many indicators, by the way, you use 5 indicators, 2 say sell, 1 say buy, 1 say you're an idiot. It's like, all right, which one do I go with? I'm gonna go with the one with that you're an idiot. I'm laughing because it's like we do that, right? We're looking for certainties in the market. And this is where, like, I'm noticed with the whole YouTube comment, right? And the YouTube land and so on and so forth. Even for you guys that follow me, right? You're looking for some sort of certainty that this is definitely going to happen. And no matter how much you go down a rabbit hole, there is no certainties. Now, there's very close to certainties, which means, like, there are type of setups out there that when they confirm, there's a massive probability that it's going to run on for some sort of a profit. Now, is it going to be a big profit? Is it going to be a small profit? We don't know. But there are setups out there that when it does confirm, by the way, they are the setups that I personally trade. I don't trade a lot, but I wait for those setups. Because then when I get those setups, I'm very confident that very high percentage of those are going to run on for a profit. So there is that in the markets. But did you hear what I just said? It's the setup, right? Not a YouTube comment, right? And so the whole thing about that there is, I have realized this for you guys, okay? For you guys that are trading the markets. We have a 50-50 chance just on itself, right? We have a 50-50 chance of being right. Now, let's actually start to wrap it around with something really simple and awesome, for like using a 24-week moving average to identify an upward trend. If we have a weekly, so see this green line through here? That's the green. That is the 24 weekly moving average. If it's trending up, a drop in the market is likely to be short-term pullback before upward trend resumes. So, class is in session. Bring up a weekly chart. You know what? Let's actually do this here. Bring up any weekly chart. All right. I'm looking at CRK here. It just had a big breakout and now it's doing nothing for a while. But let's do this here. right? See, classes in session. So if we look at this here and we go to this one right here. If we had a look at this one here, okay, nothing on the screen, and we said, okay, what is the green moving average doing? Okay, the green moving average, it's not, is the green moving average one? Is it one, that? Is it two, that? Or is it three, that? Number three, right? Now, did you know if you just had that one thing and you looked for times when number three was there? Now, what is number three? Number three means, number one means that if the moving average is going down, that means we have a downtrend, right? The market's going down. If we have this here, that simply means that, because remember, it's a 24-week moving average. And this is where, guys, you could supercharge your growth so much from your trading just from not complicating and start to wrap around some simple rules like one thing, one moving average. And then let's start to do this. Because the moving average is a trend indicator and a momentum indicator by understanding what it is. So this here simply means if this was a 24-week moving average, that means probably this last few months was flat, or this here was flat, and maybe the last couple months we're starting to increase through here. But that's not strong, right? It's actually just starting to get go. We don't know if it's going to continue. But if the market's been going like this here, for example, this whole 2025, look at the angle of that moving average. That is what? That is very close to number three. What does number three mean? Now, I'm not saying trade CRK, by the way. I was just looking at it before I clicked the record button. But you see the reason why my trading has become a lot more successful, you know, especially my second half of my trading career. My first half, I've been doing it for 20 years now. So my first half, I was like you guys, right? My charts looked horrible. I was all over the place. Intraday charts, and I had no idea, right? And that's the thing for you guys, right? Like, you know, whatever you do, guys, just, you know, shortcut the process and invest with a mentor. Like, you can't, like, I'm not selling my coaching program, guys. My coaching program's closed, right? So I'm not even selling it right now. I'm not even offering my coaching program. But I'm just saying, like, success really does leave clues, guys, right? Guys, like, what's taken me 20 years, I condensed that into a 6 to 12 month process for my inner circle members. And it's like, there's so much in here. And one thing I'm telling you right now is this one thing, right? This one thing here is this here. So if we do, right? If we have a chart and the moving average is trending up, and the moving average is doing this here. Now it's not doing this here. We're not talking about this here. We're not pointing up. It means it's been going up here, and this is a weekly chart, so it's probably been going up for a few months, not going up for the last few weeks, right? Not pointing up. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want this, right? And then, so there we go. One rule. Now, we went from 50-50, like 50, toss a coin, 50-50, to now we just applied, right? We just applied one rule, and that simply means we are only going to trade where the situation is where the 24-week moving average is very strong on any movement. It's either up or down. Okay. In this case, we're looking at this, and again, I'm not saying CRK. I'm just looking at CRK, right? There's actually nothing here. It's broken out, and nothing here for me from a trading setup point of view, right? But I'm trying to show you how you can simplify the process and start to do well. Now, on the back of what I'm saying here, guys, be okay with having a loss. You're not going to make money every trade, right? That's what trading's all about. Anyway, so now you've increased your chances to what? 60%, 70%. Especially if you trade the daily charts, right? Which means here, these are my weekly charts up the top up here, right? With my weekly charts. And these are my daily charts down the bottom here, okay? So, right, my daily charts down the bottom here. So, when it looks down my daily charts, if I'm trading the daily charts, then my number one thing I'm looking at is I'm making sure that I'm trading with what I just taught you, right? If I get a good setup on the daily chart, I'm saying, do we have that thing that I just taught you? I'm trying to be simple. Do we have that thing on the weekly chart? What is that? A moving average going up, right? So the first thing you can do, guys, is what? Just have a plumb moving average. And that's where, like here, like, and some of you guys just like, whoa, I'm looking at the MACD on the weekly charts. And John, you should have seen the stochastic on the monthly. Stochastic on the monthly? Like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, let's see what the monthly bars. You do know you need to wait 30 days for that bar to close to then see what the stochastic is telling you, right? You can't say, well, the MACD is doing this on the monthly and we're halfway through the month because the bar hasn't closed. So, and one thing that you'll see a lot of the times, and if I go to this chart here and I squeeze up, what do you see? Okay, look. Did that? It did too. I'm just trying to see. Oh, no, it didn't. No, okay. So, as you can see here, look at this, right? So, if we have a strong trending moving average, either up or down, right? As you can see, it was strong trending through here. Strong trending, strong trending. Okay? Strong trending through here. What do you notice? Firstly, trade with that. You're going to increase your success rate. But John, you don't realize, you don't understand the top's in right now. You see what I just did there? Right? I know you guys. I know you little munchkins in the chat box. Right? Oh, you guys are bottom pickers and top pickers. Good luck with that. You make your life make your life difficult for yourself. Right? I'm trying to pick the top. So, but what do you notice that happens? What do you notice happens a lot of the time when this happens on the weekly chart? Whenever we do get a drop for a few months, what tends to happen? Drop for a few months. We end up what? We end up pushing back to the upside. So if I bring up, and let me bring this up to here. This is the exact same thing that happened. I was watching on a lot of markets actually. But if I bring this up to here, this is exactly what happened to, again, why did the German market make a new high right now where the United States didn't? Why is that? Ooh, so look at this here. All right, look at this. Look at the moving average. What did the moving average do through the Speaker John? What was the moving average doing at the time of the tariff thing happened here? What was it doing? See, I was just still pointing up or trending up, right? Look at this here. Up and flatten a little bit and then up. So when we had the drop, boom. So how can you utilize this? Okay, so if we do get a pullback and the moving average is trending up, it's probably only going to be what? It's probably only going to be a pullback before the upward trend resumes. Make sense? So that's the very first thing that we want to look out for there, guys. And one thing that we can see here, and let me do this here. Now we've got that into place. Rule number one is that. Rule number two is, this is just what's this one here? Keep it moving forward through the highs and lows. Okay, cool. That's the song that I listen to. All right. So rule number one, 50-50 chance. Rule number one, strong moving average on the weekly. And wherever that is, if you trade the daily charts, don't ever trade against that. Go with that. You do really well. Okay. Rule number two is wait for sideways movement. So if you're trading the daily charts, wait for sideways movement. And then if the trend is up, like you can see here, right? If the trend is up, and we get these sideways movement, and these sideways movements, and the trend on the daily chart and the sideways movement go inside of this dubalaki here, guess what? You've now just supercharged your success rate even more. 50-50 chance, one moving average, maybe 67% chance. Now you're utilizing things like wait for a pullback or wait for a sideways movement first before you look at to get in on the next trade. And now you've increased your chances to what? 70%, 80% more? Right? And then you can start to fine tune that on two rules. See what I'm saying here, guys? So, and that's not always the problem, right? Like the problem is for a lot of you traders, the reason why a lot of traders and probably 90% of you guys watching me right now are not doing well this year is because you don't even know what you're looking for. You're looking for an idea instead of a professional has a system of trading plan he follows every day. And this is where one thing that to me that I know is I look for the same setups every day. It's like and I was showing my inner circle members that the same setups that I'm trading today are the exact. When I showed them back trades that I was taking back 10 years ago, and it's the exact same thing, and nothing never changes, right? And here's another example here. Wait for sideways movement, trade after a period of sideways movement with the trend. So if we have a nice move up and a sideways movement, guess what? After a period up and we have a nice period of sideways movement, this here, and then we do get a bit of a breakout, we're probably going to continue, especially, where's my green? Where's my green? All right, especially if we have this going on. And now this is the weekly moving average. Make sense? So that's the big thing there. I'll get to the market update in just a minute, guys, but right? So what I'm trying to share with you guys, like, you guys are looking for ideas and tips. It's like, no, it's not about being lucky, right? It's just about, these are the powerful patterns that work. But what you're going to do is you're going to do exactly what I said here, maybe 3% of the time. The other 97% of the time, you're going to wrap it around with an inflation data or what Trump said or what you think's going to happen, or we're going to war in Ukraine, or there's a debt bubble going to explode, or the stochastic on the monthly chart. You see what I did there, right? I gave you a beautiful chocolate recipe. It was actually just 3 simple ingredients. You know, it just had a nice good green moving average in there and a nice sideways pattern, and then and when we do get the breakout of that sideways movement, if the breakout is with that nice green moving average, then the chocolate cake's going to come out really, really nice. It's just a few simple ingredients. Oh my goodness. But what did you do? You said, okay, let's actually throw some blueberries in there. Blueberries actually not too bad, right? Oh, cool. Right? Then you started throwing a bit of mango in there as well too, a bit of pineapple in there as well too. Oh, let me add some more stuff to this thing, right? Because I know more's better. More. And you keep adding to it, right? And you know what? I think there might be, if I cook up some chicken schnitzel, because if I add that, right? Because chicken schnitzel is quite nice, right? So if I cook that and put that in the chocolate cake, that's going to make it even better, right? And you get the chocolate cake out, and then you run to the bathroom and throw up, right? That's what your bank account's doing right now, because you're throwing up. It's like, right? You get the whole point here, right? Now, before I get to the market update, guys, right? And the whole purpose of this update here, guys, is I really want to just share with you some simple things, guys. This is the forest from the tree side of things. And people are like, oh, John, I really want to become a good trader. Well, what do you really want to become a good trader? Okay, here is the one sentence I want you to focus on. What is the one trading pattern? What does it exactly look like? Step by step by step. Do you know exactly what that one trading pattern is for you? That when it appears, it has a massive probability of not only generating a profit, but generating a big profit. And if you don't even have that, but you trade the markets, you are a little monkey brain, politely, right? You're going to lose all your money. That's not how you trade the market. Come on, you're part of the $1 trillion a year industry, right? Right? That's success is about just knowing, right? Because the same things happen again and again and again. The success in the market comes back down to what? Success in the markets comes back down to, do you even know what you're looking for? Do you even know what you're doing? People are like, you have no education. You've done 1,000 hours of YouTube videos, and you go to the market and you try to trade with that. And you have no idea what you're doing. You're taking a stab. Let me try this. I'm going to test this one now. And you are all over the place. No wonder you're not doing well. And the result is, that's the reason why 90% of you guys that are watching this video right now are not doing well this year. Yet I know a lot of you guys in the comments section, right? You trying to tell me what to do, really? You trying to tell me what to do in my personal trading? Right? It's like, and the humility of me is now trying to be much nicer. I'm not trying to let that other Johnny out, right? It's like, right? So I hope you get what I'm trying to say here, right? But again, one of the big things here is this is very simple, but you know what is not simple? Just applying this every day, because you want excitement, right? I want excitement. I want to keep learning more. Do you know trading is actually quite boring for me when you think about it? Trading is actually quite boring for me. It's a boring thing. I'm looking for the same setups, the same patterns. I'm not looking for a new idea. Now I do a lot of study and research and looking so on and so forth. But I'm looking for the same, right? The same thing every single time. Because guess what? At the end of the day, when I do find that same pattern, it typically produces the same outcomes. And within that, I can have a probability that this year is going to have a good year, next year, year after. And as long as I can just be disciplined to focusing on that, I know that's hard for you guys. Patience, which that's the hardest thing for you guys, right? The reason why patience is the hardest thing for you guys, because you think, I was like, the thinking is completely wrong, right? I'm going to quit my job and I'm going to trade the markets. I'm going to make $200 a day because that's what I used to make at a job. You know, that's not how trading works. Anyway, so just to keep it simple for you guys, right? You want this second half of this year to actually be good for you, then again, I'm giving you free coaching advice from here, okay? The number one thing I keep telling my coaching clients, and the number one thing for me is what? Just keep it simple, right? Keep it really, 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 really simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, okay? And the bottom line thing is for you guys, the bottom line is you actually want to have a successful, you want this next 6 months to be really successful for you? Okay, cool. Your job is this. When you open up the charts right now, do you know exactly the pattern you're looking for right now? If you have at least one really good trading pattern that you know when it sets up and confirms as an entry signal that you know you like to do really well. If you say no to that, then that's where you need to start. Education, understanding, like what am I looking for? What goes in the setup? How do I identify it? How do I see it in the markets? How do I identify it in real time? That's where you need to start, right? Because now, if you do know that, now you need a self-control to say, okay, it's okay not to take a trade for a few weeks or so. Okay, now let's actually continue down here. So I did this post here. And people still give me flack about this, but anyway. Flack away, guys. Flack away. So 2 months, this is here. 2 months ago, when the S&P was at 5,600, you can see where it is here. I posted this image. It could be an amazing second half to the year coming up, right? So we can see this through here. What did this guy say? I just noticed this. John, you say mostly the same thing all the time because it is the same thing every time. It's not... Nothing's new. Because it is the same thing every time. And mostly you're right. I'm not trying to be right. I'm just looking for good trading setups. This is the best trade I can get. So I'm looking at this level through here and everything is actually doing quite well so far, right? Everything is actually starting to set up and everything is starting to, do quite well when it comes to these markets for me. So one thing I really want to let's actually go into the actual market itself. Market update time, go. Market update time. It's like, oh, thank God. John's got away from this educating bullshit stuff. Just tell me what to do, John. You are going to get run over. Anyway, so let's go down to here and let's go down to the market here. So looking at the Dow Jones for the good old markets from here. And the really interesting thing that I'm noticing right now with all these markets is, let's bring up, this is the weekly charts and this is daily charts. I'll bring up one with, where's the one with, I'll find you. There we go. All right. So I'm seeing this through here and I'm actually probably seeing that this is probably not going to be doing much throughout the year. It's probably not going to be doing much for the next few months. Right. For me, if I was a bit of a guessing man from these markets, right? It might go up, it might go down. So let's buy a call, let's buy a put, and then we'll both be right. So what I'm seeing right now with the indices is I'm seeing that we have this overall move to the upside, right? If we do get something like this here, right, we're probably likely to do something like that anyway, just to flatten out a bit. And then once we start to break above this level here, then we have a 54,000 sort of target from there. And that's the first thing I'm actually looking at when it comes to that one there on the Dow Jones. The Nasdaq for me is quite nice as well too. Is that had a nice move up, nice move down, nice move up, nice move down. And now we're just holding here, right? Big V bottom here. The really big thing here, guys, is with this V bottom formation out of the Nasdaq, right? Move down, move up, if the market's going to resume this overall big upward trend, guess what we're going to need? We're going to need the market probably to come down for a bit, higher low, and then break out, and then we're probably going to make our way up to 30,000. But the market is probably going to give us some sort of high low, even through the whole COVID boom through, right? It broke out for a while, but then we came back and started to create this an upward trend will make higher lows. It's not just going to go straight through. So we're probably going to have a little bit of a drop through here, right? A little bit of a pullback. Same for the SP 500. This is the SP 500. We've had quite a bit of a overall move down and a very strong move up. So we're probably likely to hold here, and we might either hold and break, or we might get something like this going on, and then and then into the third quarter, maybe even the last quarter of this year, we're probably going to see I had 7,000. It's actually raised it now to 7,500 on that target from there. And the last one here, guys, is a few analysis that I've been doing on the gold market is this here. So as you can see, there's a lot of trend lines going on through here. The big thing I'm noticing right now when it comes to gold is this, okay? Anyway, I was just thinking something just then. If we do, you can see we started to get it. We started to get an acceleration in the angles, right? So you can see here that was the angle there, that was the angle there, that was the angle there, and then we started to accelerate through here, and now we're coming down through to here. If gold starts to break this level through here, then what I do see happening is that's probably going to be the top in the markets, right? So if we do come back down and start to break through here, we're probably going to come down and probably do something like that through there. So it's like gold down to 2,000, John, no chance. You do know anything can happen in the markets, right? So be humble and throw your ego out the window. People are like, that's never going to happen, John. Oh, you do know the market. Whenever you say that, the market's probably going to do that. You know that, right? So I don't ever say nothing's going to happen anymore. I just go with the markets. So, but looking at the gold market's doing that through there. So, just depends on what happens through here, right? Depends on what happens if we go to the weekly charts. The weekly chart moving average is still trending through the upside, as you can see. So we're still getting a very strong trend in the upside. So it depends on what happens through here. If we can hold though. If we can just hold and continue going sideways, then this may be setting up for another move to the upside. But we needed to continue have this holding pattern through here. If it does start to see some strong selling, then we're going to start this here. But for now, looks like gold is doing the repetitive pattern. The central banks went to sleep for a while. All right? Sideways, sideways, sideways. We're doing the sideways thing again. So for now anyway, and that can change. That's exactly what we're getting from there. And then looking at the silver market as well too. One thing that a really big thing about the silver market is, and one thing that I've been really sort of focusing on, is indeed this whole level all through here. Just really sort of, we are in an upward trend because we are stepping up through here, all through here. But what we can see here is that once we actually break above this 34,000 level, then that's going to be the level to actually see us probably have a nice move back up towards the level up through here, which is around the 44,000 level. So once silver does start to break, and finally, which means I hope you can learn also too. This is the big thing here, right? And you guys are going to go nuts in the chat box with this comment. Gold and silver are not correlated. They're not correlated. No. Right? And you guys know that for now, right? It's like, you know that now. Look what gold did for the last 12 months. It's gone through a parabolic, ever since 2024, it's just done this. Boom, boom, boom. Why isn't silver? But John, no, they're not correlated, right? They're not correlated. Which shows you that even though gold might, and the reason why I'm saying that is that even though gold might go through a bit of a softening for the next 6 months, because it's already had a big, massive bull move since 2024, where silver's been struggling. If silver is going to play a bit of catch up, then silver can do that while gold actually starts to get a bit of a pausing around the markets from there. So there we go, traders. There's a bit of an update for you here, but the main thing I really wanted to sort of really cover with you guys is, with today's update, is just to keep it really simple, guys. just to keep it really, really simple, guys, when it comes down to the markets and what you're doing from there, because you just don't need to complicate it at all, right? You really don't need to complicate it at all. Just keep it really simple. And the number one thing for you guys, once again, I'm going to leave you this one here once again, and that is this. If you actually want to start to have confidence in your trading, you need to have that one trading setup. And what I do is I take screenshots, right? So whatever that one trading setup is you trade, go back in time across all markets and look for that trading setup and take it and take the screenshot, and then go look for another time that it's set up and take that screenshot, and then go for look another time, another stock, another market, see what I'm saying here, right? That's the number one thing for you to do. And if you can build up if you can build up a portfolio of the overall markets, a portfolio of different times when that trading setup appeared, you start to get a level of insight from it, okay? So the number one thing you guys are doing right now, you are guessing, right? You are guessing. Stop guessing. That's if you actually want to make money from the markets long term, right? Which I know most of you guys are looking for the get rich quick scheme, the easy way out, and all that sort of stuff. And you guys are you guys are losers, and you're gonna keep losing all your money, right? But for you 5%ers out there, okay, if you actually really want to start to do really well, and that's who I'm speaking to right now, because the 95%ers are gonna just, lose money and then blame everyone else and do nothing about it. The reason why you're fat, because you didn't even go for a walk on Sunday. Oh, but Sunday, John, I can it's a day off. Fat ass, get off the couch. So the whole thing about what I'm saying here is this: for the 5%ers, I want you to be building a foundation, and that's about firstly knowing what you look for. If you don't know what you look for, go find someone who you believe in and invest with them. That's how you start to get all this thing come together, right? You don't do it from a YouTube video. Or you can start to do the work. You can do the work yourself, right? And then you can start to go down this path of building that foundation. Because once you start to have one trading setup, and you've seen that same trading setup work again and again and again in the past, right? You start to build this confidence. I know for me right now, guys, I have a few main type of trading setups that I look for, that whenever they appear in the market, I get so excited, because I know there's a massive, massive, massive probability that it's going to generate a profit. And I also do know that some of these setups, I do know when they do confirm, it has a massive probability of not only generating a profit, but generating a profit, a big profit, and being in a good trade for the 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 months, and generating a really nice big profit from this level here. That's where you want to be at there right now. So for you guys that are 5%ers, this is for the next 12 months or the next 6 months, this is where your work is. That's where your work's going to be, right? You either invest in someone you like and find out the patterns and what they're doing and become good at that and really work hard at that. So not only one, you can understand the pattern. Two, you can actually go back over time and take a screenshot of when it confirmed in the past, and start building a portfolio of hundreds of screenshots of that one trading setup when it appeared in the past across all different markets, right? And then with all those screenshots, that's how you develop a level of confidence, right? And that's where, like, if you want to be able to know that you can not only just do really well, but you're going to absolutely just crush it. The number one thing I can tell you right now, guys, that's helped me so much is I've spent the last 10 years on the one main type of trading setups that I look for. And year after year after year, I keep doing the same thing over and over again. And then you start to that's how you become really, really, really confident in your trading.